Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm pleased to present our work on reaching international consensus around the need for and optimal design of a clinical trial investigating weight loss intervention to prevent cancer. This study is part of a novel and multimodal preliminary analysis of the feasibility of a large-scale weight loss intervention to prevent cancer clinical trial, the PODRIC study. This is a CRUK funded collaborative PhD project between Manchester Cancer Research Centre and Leeds Clinical Trials Research Unit. My name is Matt Harris. I'm a general surgery resident in the UK and clinical research PhD fellow and lead for this study. In 2016, an IARC working group defined 13 individual cancer types that were related to the presence of overweight and obesity. This is now the second most common modifiable risk factor after smoking and is predicted to become the number one cause in the next 20 years. Between 1990 and 2022, 89% of all countries had increasing prevalence obesity in women and 73% had increasing prevalence in men. Predicting the global burden of obesity-related cancers, even without considering obesity rates continuing to increase, we will see obesity-related cancers becoming an even greater burden on global healthcare. We should therefore consider the future of obesity-related cancer prevention. Currently, evidence on whether reversing a person's obesity reduces their risk is very limited. A large-scale clinical trial could be influential in unveiling the impact of weight loss interventions on obesity-related cancer prevention, and thus influencing clinical management and public health policy. However, undertaking a real-world clinical trial of this nature will be extremely complex, lengthy, and have associated very high financial costs. Therefore, our goal was to establish expert consensus on three things: whether there's need for such a trial, what key design elements it should include, and what the priority areas are for future research. First, we assembled an international panel of expert multidisciplinary researchers in obesity and cancer through networks including EASO, IFSO, and collaborators in North America and Australia. Secondly, we held a nominal group meeting and consulted a patient and public involvement and engagement group to inform the initial set of statements. Third, we conducted a Delphi consensus remotely over 3 rounds, refining statements after each round based on feedback. And finally, we held a concluding nominal group meeting, again informed by public input, to revisit borderline or unresolved items. 54 experts from 12 countries participated with high retention rates across all 3 Delphi rounds, 98%, 85% and 88% respectively. Of 37 initial statements, 25 reached consensus, with 5 being removed after feedback and 8 that didn't reach consensus. After the final group meeting, 2 statements were added and agreed upon, bringing us to a total of 27 consensus statements. These are the most important areas of agreement within the 6 domains presented to the expert panel. Firstly, there is a clear need for clinical trial evidence to support cancer prevention strategies in people with obesity. Secondly, the target population should be individuals with general high cancer risk, but still representative of a broader UK/EU population. Thirdly, the intervention should focus on one specific strategy, and that GLP-1 receptor agonist or dual agonist emerges as the top priority. The selection of a control group depends on the intervention and population. Obesity-related cancer is a priority primary outcome, and surrogate or precursor endpoints should be considered. And finally, we need more research into mechanistic pathways and the identification of these cancer precursors to better understand how weight loss might reduce cancer risk. This consensus sets the foundation for future research on the role of weight loss interventions in cancer prevention. As part of the PODRIC project, these findings will directly inform the design of in silico trials and further modelling. And ultimately, they will guide the development of a real-world clinical trial. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us at www.podricresearch.com, and please do engage with us at the European Congress on Obesity in Malaga, where this work will be presented. On behalf of the full team, I'd like to thank all of our contributors, the international experts, and the PPIE groups who helped shape this work. Thank you.